My name is Leona Coulter and the title of my photograph is Fields of Gold. The photo was taken at an area known as Broadwater. This is a 3-mile towpath walk between Moira Railway Station and Achillee and takes you along the route of the original Lagan Canal through Soldierstown. The Broadwater is a man-made feature built in a natural valley in order to retain a sufficient head of water to accommodate navigation. The appeal of this area is that it is a quiet, traffic-free, tree-lined towpath and it is a haven for wildlife with swans, birds, ducks and herons to spot. Two and a half kilometres from Achillee, you arrive at Broadwater, which is an ideal spot to stop and take in the natural surroundings. There is always a view worth taking in regardless of the weather. This is a location I visit very often. It is a popular spot with fishermen, walkers, cyclists, runners and dog walkers. I tend to take photos of interest on all my walks, so it's always handy to have the camera at hand. I took this photograph with my iPhone camera. I chose this image for a number of reasons, but in particular the variety of colours that are present in the photograph. The vibrant green blades of grass in the foreground set against the bold green of the tree line that lead your eye to the glass-like surface of the water. At this time it was the glinting, rich field of gold which captured my attention and is the focus beneath the pink, wispy and fluffy clouded blue sky. For me, this photograph conveys feelings of relaxation, warmth, peacefulness and gratitude for our local natural surroundings, which especially over the past year has been our little local sanctuary.
My name is Adrian Winters and my photo is entitled Muted Reflection. I captured the image at Oxford Island Nature Reserve on the southeastern shores of Lough Neagh. The location is a short drive from my house, which enables me to visit on my lunch breaks and is a getaway from the computer screen. On this particular morning there was a dense layer of fog and I had intended to take a long exposure of the wooden jetty disappearing into the distance through the mist. However, the water was so still and the swans basically motionless, all the elements came together to create a perfect mirror-like scene where it was impossible to tell where the horizon was. I capture the image using my Canon EOS 750D. This particular image was captured with a 250mm lens. I had to use my circular polarizer to reduce the glare created by the fog reflecting on the glass-like surface of the water, which in turn enhanced the clarity of the swan's reflection. I chose this particular image as it was one of my bucket list shots. I had seen other photographers capture similar images and had wanted to put my own spin on it. I had attempted it once before, but with disappointing results. To create the image I wanted, you are completely at the mercy of the elements, so when everything came together, I was determined to get it right this time. I think this shot for me was a turning point, as my true passion for photography lay in the form of capturing wildlife images. I hope this image conveys to others the true beauty and serenity of the swan, captured in a very minimal setting.
My name is Maeve Sullivan and the title of my photograph is The Sun Sets on Summer. The photograph was taken late one evening last summer on Castle Rock Beach, looking towards Donegal. I find being at the seaside a real tonic and walking on the beach very therapeutic, this beach especially. Living in Northern Ireland, we're also fortunate to be within such close range to water, whether that's rivers, lochs or the sea. But last year, after a period of not being able to travel far, we spent a very welcome break on the north coast and really appreciated getting away to enjoy our stunning coastline. The Antrim Coast Road really is one of our most scenic drives, and I always like to return. Right now I can't wait to go back when we're allowed to travel again. We'd set out for a walk after dinner that warm Sunday evening and noticed soft pink hues forming in the sky that gradually deepened into reds and gold tones. People were still swimming in the sea and surfing, and there was a real holiday atmosphere. I walked along the water's edge, letting the tide wash over my toes. It was just idyllic. The photograph was taken on my smartphone, along with around 50 others over a short space of time that evening, as the sun set. The sky and sea were so spectacular, I wanted to capture these special moments. That evening I was mesmerised by how the seascape reflected the changing colours in the sky. It was like a magical light show, better than fireworks. It was just stunning, as if the sky and the sea were on fire. I love the gathering cloud formations and the colours in the sunset reflected in the waves washing over the beach. I found being there invigorating, with the wind blowing as the waves rolled in, while at the same time it was very calming because it was such a peaceful scene. It was towards the end of summer, and it felt as if the sun was setting not just for that day, but for the whole season.
Hi, my name is Rhonda Glasgow and the title of my photo is Evening Reflection. This photo was taken at Coney Island in County Down. I was with my friend Maddie Stewart, who lives there. Maddie started a writing group in her home a few years ago and we meet there once a month, but we couldn't meet as a group in the lockdown. So I went to see Maddie one evening and we walked round the corner from her house to watch this beautiful sunset across the bay. The scene was reflected in the window and I photographed it on my iPhone. Every summer we have a writer's retreat at Coney and we've walked around there quite often. It's a beautiful view at any time of the day. Maddie and I had a lovely evening, but we were a little sad the rest of the group weren't there, so I put the photo on our WhatsApp group and everyone knew exactly where it was. The second photo is called Winter Dawn. It is taken from a small car park on the road between Carryduff and Ballynahinch. I work just outside Ballynahinch and I travel that road at the same time every day. On that day, the colours of the sunrise flooded the sky for most of the journey. The snow added to the scene and I was just taking it in when I drove towards the lake. It's very unusual for me to stop. I normally wouldn't have time and I didn't really have time. I just had to record it. And I remember feeling a little self-conscious because it's such a busy road. I took it with my iPhone and I only really looked at it later in the day. I love it as it's a place I pass almost every day, yet on that day, the timing, the snow and the sunrise combined to make a scene which was really spectacular.